Okay, so see more enticing options. It's really from this side. It looks interesting. You get over that side, you crawl along because you're gonna have to really crawl like a nothing, and that takes you across the span fairly well. You know, it's got a couple logs there. It's always nice. Crawl along the bank, so that's not too bad. Um, and but I want to look at something else down here. I think there's bound to be other things. Let's go this way. There's some other people. It's nice. That coming in the next 15 minutes, half an hour. That's good. That'll be my third day. Look at all these. Like, look at this. This is interesting. Yeah. I think I'll have another meal over here before I leave as well. Just why not, right? A little den mother meeting. But this is. So we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, that's. How could you not want to do that? I mean, that's not at all. You just have to make sure you can get over that fucking thing on the other side. But I think that's probably how people have been coming across. That looks very nice. That's the nicest thing I've seen yet. Shit. Okay, that crap that was supposed to be 20 minutes is coming now. So let's go to a crap zone. An approved government defecation depot. An AGDD or AGDA. AGDA. I need an AGDA. I gotta take a crapalicious. Yeah, so it's amazing how different things look. Eh? I'm not sure what they're gonna look like on the other side, but that log is pretty safe. No hands. I mean, with hands. No, without anything in my hands. And interesting. Okay. Could probably take a crap in there. Let's just this over here. Looks like it's precipitating the roof. Amazing how the ghosts of past can live in your mind. I'm a man of peace, but I have my ghosts. And someone disturbs my peace. Wow. But I work hard for my peace in the moment that you work hard. Let's move camp a little bit here. But that's good. That's 3 crabs today. Good job. Really good job. I like that. Body's eliminating nicely. And then I just put a little alcohol and disinfectant on my ass. Just rub it after some leaves and stuff, and wash my hands, and it disinfects. And if there's any soreness in my ass, it heads it off pretty good. So I've been starting to use just antibacterial cream on my ass, because I tend to rub my ass with sticks and leaves and shit, and it works pretty good. But the worst case scenario, I get into the bath and it's a little painful for 1.5 seconds or 0.75 seconds. Other than that, it's pretty good. So here's another log system. That's interesting too, but not one. It's interesting. Is this the one I was thinking about? Maybe it was. Let's see. I keep gravitating to this, so I don't know what it's like when you get over the other side there, but it'd be interesting to try. And then there seems to be a labyrinth of one going down over there. That looks interesting, but no. And there's one big one down that's been there forever, and it's pretty reliable if you don't want to fall off it. Okay, so I'm gonna sit and just quiet down for a bit. Let's see if I can get another look at this. Make sure I got the right vantage point. Let's go back over here. We can cross here in the summer, usually, just on these rocks nearby, but not today. Oh yeah, so you crawl over there and take your chances, do you? Fuck. Yeah, that's the interesting part. When you get on the other side, like, can you jump to the other side? So, okay. Still no people, that's good. No people means no evil. Yeah, victory. So I'm gonna sit down, a little more food, a little more stoned, and then just go my merry way, because I don't think there's much more we can do. If I can get across the river here, then that'll be good. Take a moment first. Let's go here. I like this tree. It's cold. No mistaking it. I'll sit down under this tree, or under this tree maybe, and like a tree. Oh no, this one's pretty nice. Okay, so there, there. So this is the tree I'm sitting under, facing this way, and these logs in a momo, the other momos. Oh, my lord. Yeah, it's always interesting to see the kinds of people that are capable of violence. There's always people around them to condone it and to help protect it. And that is a very confusing thing for human beings to encounter. We don't often have a lot of ready intelligence. Just how to understand that someone in a group can target you and hurt you, and any number of people will watch or help or protect you. And they couldn't do this unless the electronic supported them. And stalkers of this nature, if they decide or they feel like they need something from you that you're not giving them. So if I was walking on the road and I thought you should give me $10, hey, why don't you give me $10? Another man, as I said, fell into a very bad state of judgment and fear. him and his accomplice was another retired principal of local elementary and high school schools. And like a lot of people who get into the local social services, their brain just goes, whoop, whoop. You know, details don't matter, and just decided to fixate on me and sexually harass me for an hour or so on camera. He told me he was going to call the police on me. Never happened. For sitting there, essentially, just a totally innocent person. It was insane, right? So I took and I sat there comfortably and just let him blow his steam for an hour. He's accusing me of all kinds of things, white female, and total sociopaths, totally fixating on me, totally disintegrating the safety to be there and to live in this area with no repercussions. So I posted a notice. RCMP were looking for them, and they were a duo who had attempted to mug me and were maybe roaming in the area. Watch out for them. This is how they work. I got his name. He says he's a retired teacher. So does the other person with white curly hair. I gave a full description, and I put duct tape and put it at the front of the park on the garbage can. It stayed there for a week. I put plastic over it. It stayed there for a week or two. That day, there were some white people there as I was putting up, and they said, and I told them what I was putting up, and they said, "Oh, he must be sick." Yeah. He got to be principal, given how sick he is. And you see how people's brain cannot be expected to stay sufficiently innervated, oxygenated, in order to make provisions. Just like if you're walking in the woods and you make a series of bad decisions, you die. Imagine people walking through the great woods of life and can fixate on you, make a series of bad decisions, and you die. Because all of a sudden, they've carved out in you someone who needs your aggression or your salvation and who owes you something that you need, that you can't get because you're projecting so many psychotic things upon that person, and you don't even look like you expect to get what you want. I didn't know what that person expected to get from me. And he became very passive after I put up the notice, but he kept stalking me, has kept stalking me for a number of years. If he drives by me, he stares at me. If I'm in the woods and he's there, he'll stare at me from behind bushes. It's quite obvious. You know, he's not trying to hide himself, but he's terrified of me. I don't have to do anything. He's just such an obviously sociopathic human being, obviously sick. And that's how I find stalkers. Right. And I mostly just ignore them. If you do. But I'm not insensible of the danger that they present by being able to walk around freely. And this couple, this man and this woman, made it very clear to me what they've been doing to children in the whatever 30 or 40 years they've been in the school system. Imagine how many children they had threatened and prosecuted and accused, and they worked together to do it. Right? Just like predatory hyenas. Humans can go in those states, and they think they're righteous. He was probably wondering why I didn't call the police. Well, there must be something wrong with me. Because I'm not a coward like he is. And the police have made it clear to me in different parts of my life that they have absolutely no interest in helping me. So anytime the police are on the scene, I'm not going to get a fair shake. Right? So, all right. So if I get to the other side, okay, let's see. I might can carry on to that further. I know it's a fitful thing to say. It's just it doesn't have to be the end of the world. I know how things come down to. Oh, a gentleman up here who feels very strongly about our story in his power against the police. He told me he felt like they were going to the police and himself. Okay, I don't know how many. I don't think I'm going to investigate. If you need to go kidnap them, I'm just advising that they're not. I understand there's anything this way. I think I might be able to help if he's just involved in a lot of stuff. He's focused on listening. He seems inclined to do things like me. Okay, please don't get some kind I'm saying I'm not sure. Just, he's going to want to accuse me. I'm going to say no. I'm not a very economically economic person. I look at it as badly. I'm not going to get my name and go for that. Think of that. I'm not a good, I'm just really trying to work. Essentially, this man lost his father when he was young, probably before the age of 12. Right? And it happens. Parents, they're like ships, go off into the distance and they never seem to come back again. They send little telegrams. Um, I live with my mom, so I know how nice it is to connect with a parent. And through my mom, I've been able to kind of master some things. Mostly, I just need positive days. I need to have a number of days in a row where I don't get harassed. I think there's about a 50-50 chance of getting over here. I'm going to go check out that other log too because I know that one goes all the way across. So this one I can look at and come back. It's nice to take a break. If I did find an easy crossing, like I start, hey, I feel more confident, I'll come out here every day. It'll be fun. The sound of the river is all around. It's quite an auditory, pleasant thing. It's not as cold as it was. It's not as cold as they said it would be. My feet are a little cold, but leather shoes will have that thermal permeability. Look at this. R love S. Walking loves the sun. The sun loves walking. It's exactly what's on that tree. It's like honoring nature's protection because S means protection. Release unnecessary fears with the people. As long as you're on the path to the sun, and then it's got one joy. Joy loves releasing unnecessary fears. It's right. It's right on this tree. Remember, I was called to sit under this tree. I watched this bushcraft thing, and this guy stayed out. I mean, good for him. Slept outside in a snowy place in minus 20, minus 25 degrees. But every day he wakes up, he's cold. He says he's just bone chilling cold. Cold. Into his core energy. What's the point of that? He's got all the most expensive gear. What an awful thing to do. He's like, oh, I just can't figure it out. Well, why don't you make videos when you figure out how to stay warm? My thing is, if I ever did camping, I would get a propane or an electric heater of some kind. Just turn it on low and put it in the tent. Make it somewhere it's not going to fall over. Just a nice little standalone, and just put it in your tent. And have it like on a timer that comes on and off like every 15 minutes to a half hour, and just takes the chill out of the air. Right? The only problem, of course, is you could wake up in an inferno. So that's the downside. You could burn a lot. Have it so that if it tips over, it turns off. Or just one guy he lit 2 huge fires on either side of him, put like tons of cedar boughs down, and just lay there and slept. He was warm all night long. It was like sleeping between his daddy's boughs. And there's another S on that tree over there. So we're good. This joint has smoked particularly well. Good job on it. I find it's all in the way I grind the marijuana. Beyond some point, I really just don't get any more stones. Let the smoke go to the wishing well. And all that wishes its loved ones well, and all that they wish them well, and all that we wish our loved ones well, and they wish us well. But that wishing well, you're filled with the censer of the smoke. Good. Nice. Thank you. Protective. You have to say, with caution, that over the years, I have found that a lot of things things that tend to work out. I tend to be a lot more protective than I think I am. So that's nice. I'm frustrated because I don't really want to enter into the type of situations I get into. But, load the torpedo. Okay, let's do this thing. I'm going to turn off the video camera for a second. I've been Okay. Alright. So we're gonna give that a shot, and we'll just poke you. Let me know how that goes.